What's up, guys? I'm Ryan with Ryan Epps Fishing. Back out on the water today. Today's episode, we are on the one, the only Chickamauga Lake, and we're catching a few. Y'all stick around. Hopefully you can learn something today, and we can put a pile of these in the boat. Y'all enjoy the episode today. Boom! Definitely not the size that we're after, but it is a start. Get the blood flowing this morning. I like it. All right, so in full disclosure, that fish was on there for a good minute. I pulled up on it there. He didn't hit it hard. He just kind of sucked it in. I pulled up on it there, and it kind of felt like I was slowly pulling up a twig, or a piece of this shit that's in the water here. And I saw the line going that way, and I said, wait a minute, twigs don't swim. There he was. Y'all hear them frogs? I like that. There is a bunch of frogs in here now. They go nuts. Some shad popping. I like it. Life. Come here. I gotta pay more attention. I was looking at them ducks over there. I went to pick my line up, and it was out there, which wasn't where I left it. There you go. Pretty little Chickamauga bass. Little feller, but man, are they fun. Pretty fish. I think that last fish right there, I think I just figured something out. Not sure yet. I'm gonna go about, we'll go about 75 more yards down through here. If I don't get another bite, then I'm gonna lean to think that I'm right about what I'm thinking. Biggin', biggin', biggin'. Oh. Oh, yes. Woo! Get you some of that. Chickamauga stud. Woo! Ha ha! Got him. Big one, I think. Oh, yeah. That's a good one. Come here. Stay down. Come here. Come here. Woo! Talking about, that's what I'm talking about. Get you some. I like it. Woo! Come here. There you go. Wanted that structure bug. Got him. Little feller. Open your mouth. They're getting smaller. That ain't good. Oh, I know there's some bigger ones around here. I know it, I know it. All right. I had got several bites there, and they wasn't getting it, just missing it. So I switched up, put the lizard on. Go, a little chunky male. We'll see if I could throw something different on them there. Get them to react to it a little better. That one did. Knocked the piss out of it. See if we can get another one. Come on. Decent fish. That's a big one. Big one. Ah. Yes! Woo! That's what I'm talking about. There are some quality fish right here. That is for sure. I mean, goodness. All right, guys, let's talk about what worked today. Had a pretty good day out here on Chick today. Put some really nice fish in the boat. Put quite a few fish in the boat. And I know I've said in the past that I got a love-hate relationship with this place. And today, I'm going to leave here loving it. More often than not, I leave here hating it. But feel good about it today. Gonna go home happy. Let's talk about where I found the fish today. Now, I really feel like there are fish in all stages of the spawn out here right now. For me personally, I think your easiest fish to catch most of the time are pre-spawners. That's what I like to target most of the time, and I think they're the easiest to catch. I don't know how we always end up in the trees when we're doing these exits, but we do. Anyway, we'll roll with it. The place that I found today, and I pretty much spent all day on one spot, is a very small spot. To put in perspective, I'd say that it was about the size of a single wide. Very small. What made this spot special, and it was back in a creek, had some feeder creeks coming into it, had a little bit of current there, not a whole lot, just had a little bit of everything. A lot of frogs back there, a lot of shad, a lot of minnows, a lot of carp and gar. But, you know, what was good about that spot was you had several different things going on. What I noticed was you had a flat, okay? And I went back there and I checked that flat out, and there were some males back there. I actually saw some males fanning some beds. I caught a couple males back there. And then what you had was a very, very subtle break, a depth change. If that flat was about 1 foot, that depth change off of that break was 2 to 2.5. Very, very subtle. What made it special was, and I've been around a couple different places today, and this is really the only place that I saw this happening good. Right off of that break, you get down there, we had some new vegetation coming up, which is, you know, it's just a bass magnet. Once you find a spot that is holding females like that, that's a place that you really want to slow down and spend some time in. So that's pretty much what I did. I camped out there all day and really worked that area over multiple times with a Texas rig. The Texas rig that I was using to target those fish today, pretty much the same deal as last week on Douglas. Here's the exception. Last week on Douglas, you had much clearer water. We're fishing a little bit deeper. And for that reason, I was wanting more of a reaction strike. So last week I had a 3/8 ounce tungsten weight on there, and I had a lizard. Lizard is very slender, and that 3/8 is a little bit heavy. I wanted that bait to fall really fast. I wanted to go right by their head, and I wanted it to be a reaction strike. That bait hits the water, it's going straight down, they see it, they just react to it. This week I wanted something different. We've got stained water here. I don't know what the water looked like several days ago. We've had a lot of rain the past couple days, and it's not muddy, but it does have a little bit of stain to it back in these creeks. And so I wanted a lighter weight. So the biggest difference from last week to this week is we dropped from a 3/8 ounce tungsten. Today my weight of choice was a 1/4 ounce tungsten weight. So that slowed that rate of fall down. Slowing it down even more required you to put on a little bit different bait. This week I was using a Strike King Rage Tail structure bug. It's got a beefy body. It's a lot beefier than a lizard, and I know y'all seen me catch some fish on a lizard today, but this was the #1 bait today by far. That beefier body is going to slow that rate of fall down a little more, and then the appendages on this bait right here have just got a ton of action in them. So the more action that bait has, the slower the rate of fall it's going to have too. So all those things kind of combined to give me just a perfect rate of fall that I was looking for to trigger these fish into biting. Now, the color was black and blue. It's more of a straight black with some blue flake in it. But anytime, make sure there ain't nothing up there in that tree gonna fall down on me here and make me crap my pants on YouTube. Anytime you got stained water, I'm gonna pick up black or black and blue. It's a staple. I mean, it's hard to beat it. You really can't. It works, period. So I picked that up. Now what I think they thought this bait is I think they thought it was a bluegill. The area that I fished, it did have shad, it had minnows, but there were a lot of bluegill that had moved up there, and they were hanging out in the same areas that those bass were, and a bluegill number one, just like a lizard, their brains are designed to just despise bluegills this time of year. Number two, a bluegill is a hell of a meal for a pre-spawn female. Spawning takes a lot out of them. A bluegill is a good meal right there. So they can get a lot of that that they're going to need to get through to spawn from a bluegill. It's a big meal. And I really think that that's what they thought this was. And that kind of played into the slow rate of fall too. Because if you ever watched a bluegill swim around in the water, a bluegill kind of glides. They've got a very slow glide motion when they swim. And I think all that just kind of came together and just made kind of the perfect setup there. So I think that's what I had going on. What I was throwing this bait on today was, before I forget, the hook. That is a VMC light wire worm hook. You know, I love the light wire hooks. I like the VMC hooks. Standard Z-bend worm hook. It worked great for me today. The rod that I'm throwing this on is my 6'10" Duckett Triad. It's a medium power. This is the rod that I use for my lighter Texas rigs, 1/4 ounce, 3/8 ounce. This is the rod I'm going to pick up. 6'10" may sound a little short to some people. I'm a pretty hyperactive dude. I mean, I'll fish 12 different places at one time with 16 different baits, and I'm just constantly just, you know, all over the place. So to slow me down and settle me down, I like a shorter rod for this technique. It's really upped my game with the Texas rigs, and it's helped me to be a little bit more precise, slow, methodical with them. Because if you think about it, the longer the rod is, every time that you drag that bait, the longer the rod, the farther you're going to drag it. So I go to a shorter rod, I don't drag it as far. It's that simple. It slows me down. I get a lot more bites because I'm fishing a whole lot better, a whole lot more productive than I would be just, you know, constantly with a 7 or a 7'6" rod, dragging that thing and pulling it 16 foot every time I drag it, and then I get home and I ain't fished but about, you know, the bait ain't been on the bottom but more than about 3 minutes the whole time I've been out there. So that's a personal preference deal. 6'10" on my light Texas rigs, it works for me. The reel is a Diawa Tatula 100XS. This is an 8.1 to 1 gear ratio. I think that the higher speed reel today was crucial. Normally I don't make a huge deal out of it. You find you a gear ratio that works for you and you go with it. Today, I think that the high-speed reel was vital to catching a lot of these fish. I'm not sure why they were doing what they were doing, but most of them fish, when they would hit that bait, them suckers would run straight to the boat. I don't know if they were just wanting to give up, they knew it, or I don't know what the hell they were doing. But when a fish makes a run like that to the boat, if you don't have a higher speed reel, you can't pick the line up fast enough to keep up with them. And what happens then is they throw the hook and you start throwing stuff, start cussing, and you know, it ain't productive. So higher speed reel lets you pick that line up really fast for fish that make a run to you sideways, anyways. It helped me put fish in the boat today. I think it was a big deal, so that's what I did. You know, I feel pretty good about today. Put some decent fish in the boat. Put quite a few fish in the boat. I'm leaving here today pretty happy. Now, that's pretty rare. Most time I come down here, and now I hesitate to say this because I am a good ways from the boat ramp, but I haven't tore anything up today, which is shocking. Normally I tear up a lot of stuff down here. I haven't tore up anything today. So today absolutely has been, I mean, another day, another A kind of deal. So having said that, I'll probably hit a log on the way back to the boat ramp, tear the lower unit off or something. But, you know, I can only tell y'all what's going on right now. Right now, we good. Anyway, that's all I got for y'all today, guys. If you like the videos, make sure you go hit that like button. hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. That's going to let you all know when I put out all my new videos. If you got any questions or comments for me, go ahead and leave those in the comment section down below. I will get back to y'all with any answers that I can give you. Until next time, y'all make some time, get out there on the water and catch you a few. I'm Ryan Epps. Y'all have a good one.